Welcome,
Yeah.
Sajad. Thank you for saying yes for this Design for Difference interview series. And we've been collaborating for quite some time now with Limbo and with Queer Work. And I really am a big fan of what you're doing and how you're promoting belonging in these different spaces, queer
Mhm.
refugee spaces, queer work spaces. And so, for those who don't know you, can you tell us something about who you are? What is this that you're doing? How did you get into the space holding, community weaving
Mhm.
work that you're doing? So, Sajad.
Thank you, Lana, for having me. It's yeah, how can I get into it? Yeah, first of all, I'm Sajad, founder of the Queer Work, and since 2023, I started Queer Work. I came originally from Iran, but I'm based now is 8 years in Netherlands, Amsterdam. When I started queer work, that actually I saw the empty space uh, about the thought and idea about diversity and inclusion in a workspace for queer LGBTQI plus refugee and the discussion of the empowerment and giving the sense of the belonging to the community. They are feel between. They think they are in betweenness because of their journey, their displacement. They think, oh, I'm not related to that community, to the home in the past, but also here, what is here? And belonging also in very tiny spaces in their own mind. Like, for example, didn't realize the whole entire life when I was till 29 years old living outside of Netherlands. But when I came back, I realized I have ADHD, I have dyslexia, and nobody didn't figure it out, my parents or the teachers. And that was now add to the other identity as a queer, as a gay person, as a refugee, as a migrant, as a third child of the family, with this, very distance with my parents, with my family, who I am now, and where can I find my point in that story? The queer work it didn't intentionally address about like neurodiversity or inclusion and belonging, but all comes through the each workshop. I try to be much diverse stories similar to myself, find it and give the space to be heard and community could realize, oh, maybe this is part of my story passed to the story of Sajad or Lana or X or Y. This person, oh, I can be same as them, but I can be my own individual star in the galaxy.
Mm,
That was
mm.
part of it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, since I know you, we've worked together already.
Yes.
I'm always fascinated in how you think about the community, and how you care for the community,
Yeah.
and so for the past few years of organizing different events, and you were just mentioning, you've organized so many events already for the community. Um,
Yeah.
what are your top tips for those who would want to also facilitate, be a space holder, create programs, design programs that are
Mm-hmm.
serving the queer refugee community,
Hmm.
and like what you said, that intersectionality of all these
Yes.
different identities, right, in such a way
Yeah.
that we allow for them to come to these spaces and feel that they belong, they feel that they can be themselves. So if you have,
Yeah.
what's your top tip that you can give for people who might be interested in walking the path that you went through?
I think the most important thing uh, I could mention that first is self-care and self-care because for those thinking, oh, I want to help the community, my minorities, helping them, that come out of the very good thought and idea, out of the generosity. But in this journey, it's very easy to forget yourself. And that is the part. when you realize you give the energy a lot outside instead of the thinking who is giving energy to me and I should take care of myself, this like body of this thought, I should also empower myself to having moment for myself. I was lucky I had you or other colleague to share together, to having that bond. Oh, I feel this? You are feeling that. And sometimes, many time, oh, this is the red flag. You should now stepping out, take care of your boundaries, take care of your thought. This is the first point, the self-care during the community work. It doesn't matter queer, feminist, activist, political. The self-care is very important. And the other one, I would say that try to always keep your creativity on because there is no limit for end of the creativity. Always through the another creative project, you can find another one. Or for me was like that, hopefully, because of the ADHD. Because I always say, oh, let's do that. Let's do this. And this is the part of them, like
Yeah.
magic. Creativity bring the other creative idea and creative thought. And the other thing I would love say is nowadays in the world, it's world force you to become activist. Being activist is very good, but if you have a target and goal where you are going, it's helping you to not get lost because of the media, because of the easy, all of the news jump, boo, 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 boo. You are getting like tons of the notification in your phone. The friend is passed away under war. There is a demonstration, the square close to your house. Let's go there. Oh, there is the other minority under oppression. There is the other minority. There is a new virus is coming. Maybe it's the lockdown of energy. There is tons of unnecessary information. It comes to your way and your journey. But the most important thing is being selective what you are hearing and never scare going to a space and presenting your community, presenting your project, instead of the thinking, oh, maybe this is the person from different party, maybe this is the person I would put the sanction on it. No, because if you don't go to that space, if you don't go, let's say, that trap, nobody is there to representing you and your thought and your community, your ethnicity, your privilege, your background. Like literally about my journey in queer work, I would knew that about my weakest point because I could still not at that time talk Dutch very well and like writing the fund or grant, and also I start working with two other person as a starting point, but I was the founder of the queer work. I already knew that who they are and what's going on. It was the trap, but I believe about the power. First of all, if I'm not going there, there are nobody talk about this idea, this project, and even nobody is there to representing like myself. I'm the founder of this project. I'm standing for my community and I want to do this for community and I believe it. I can do it. Sometimes we realize it because of that, what I mentioned, that in a world happening, we get too much unnecessary worried. Oh, if it not succeed, try it. If it not succeed, it is the learning process, and you at least reach to the experience, and you
Mm-hmm.
can go move on from your experience. Because, for example, I was in academic world, and for them was difficult. How you can be academic, but you have a heavy dyslexia. But
Mm-hmm.
that was a part. Okay, I couldn't move on further in academic journey as a like project manager. I couldn't go to the postdoc because they want somebody to write the article. But I wrote the project and I got the funding, and the result of my project maybe was, I could say, better than the PhD. because that achievement, I had my achievement, I had the community achievement, and the result was 2, 3 years ongoing project is helping community. Because end of the story, that was my thought. I'm going to find a space for myself, representing my idea, and also helping a community. That things I, it's bother me, to be honest, to have a dyslexia and people judge me, oh, you wrote the email with mistake or something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's really at that time bother me. But end of the story, end of the journey, that keep going and believe, okay, I have an idea, I can do that. This is not limited me. This
Mm-hmm.
is cover me. And that brought me to this space I'm in now. I'm in a peace about my, I don't call it disability or something bad. I call it as a gift because
Yeah.
sometimes that is my approach to, okay, I will use the application or something to write it for me. I can write the email in 2 seconds instead of the person is thinking
Mm-hmm.
because, okay, I'm also thinking, but I'm not thinking about the grammatical or the dictate, how to write it. That's my now self-empowerment. And even with the ADHD, I can write the project, I can be here, I can be think about the future, thinking about past. That's the part of the
Mm-hmm.
my journey to belong to myself, to belong to my stuff what I have.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of this, Sajad. And it really reminds me to go back to see ourselves as with strengths, right? Rather than
Yeah,
just the deficits. Like this is what you're lacking. No, this is also what I'm strong with.
yeah,
And how can you bring that back to
yeah,
your advocacy, to your, activism, to the work that you're doing?
yeah,
And I love how you phrase it as well of like it's representation. Yeah, so
yes,
when we show up with our strengths, when we
yeah,
show to people, hey, this is what I'm capable of,
yeah,
this is how I think, this is how I process, this is how I do things. What we're actually doing is we're bringing in representation in these different spaces.
exactly.
And when we share our stories, then it also broadens other people's awareness of, oh, these are also different ways in which they can, understand a specific topic, or in your and also your case, right, the journey that you've had, not just from the academe but also being a refugee, yeah, at one point, and having that as part of your journey. So you
Yeah,
bring in a lot of lived wisdom in
yeah,
all of these experiences, and how you then share that in the community that you're part of is such a big blessing to the others who are journeying in their own transitions as well. So
yeah.
thank you, Sajad, for
Thank you.
this, and yeah, looking forward to sharing more of these spaces with you.
Yeah, of course, always.